everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be recapping Nigeria's 3-2 victory over Tunisia in the match day 2 of the 2025 AFCON. So Nigeria played the team that's ranked 6th in Africa. Nigeria ranked 5th in Africa. And Tunisia are ranked 41st in the world, I believe. And Nigeria ranked 38th. So this is supposed to be a very even match of the two teams at the top of their group in Group C in AFCON. And early on, Nigeria actually dominated the match. Tunisia were expected to concede possession because that's their style. They call themselves the Italians of Africa, of the CAF region. But I think Tunisia gave Nigeria a bit too much respect in how they played. They sat back way too much and invited pressure. In Nigeria, they really got off a lot more shots and controlled the tempo of the game too. Tunisia didn't offer much in the first half. Um, Nigeria ended up taking the lead in this match through Victor Osimhen. Osimhen had a couple of headers early on after crosses from Akor Adams, especially, who was drifting off to the right-hand side. Um, for this match against Tunisia, Nigeria lined up in a 4-3-1-2 with Onyeka coming in to this match for Chukwueze and Bruno Onyemaechi coming in for Sanusi. So Bruno came in at left back and Frank Onyeka slided into midfield. So that left Lookman as the number 10 with Osimhen and Akor Adams as the two strikers up top. Adams was finding pockets of space along with Lookman, and Iwobi was passing well through the lines. And for the first goal, Ademola Lookman ended up crossing the ball for Osimhen. Lookman from the left hand side to Osimhen, and he headed home. So it was 1-0 at halftime. Coming into the second half, Nigeria kept their foot on the pedal and were creating more opportunities. The second goal came off of a corner kick where Ademola Lookman, another cross on the left hand side, and this one found Wilfred Ndidi. This was Ndidi's first goal for Nigeria. I've been critical of Ndidi in the past, not because I think he's a bad player. I just think he's past his peak and shouldn't always be the first name on the team sheet in midfield. But today, he showed why. He's the captain of the team. He was winning so many duels, getting onto so many loose balls, and in the end, Ndidi won 9 out of 15 ground duels and 2 out of 4 aerial duels. And he did commit 4 fouls, which a lot of the time broke up the play for Tunisia and slowed down their momentum. He even had one dribble when he was doing a step over in midfield. I'm thinking, like, what has gotten into Ndidi today? He was superb, actually. Bruno Onyemaechi at left back. I think he had a good game, especially compared to what Zaidu Sanusi did in the first match versus Tanzania. This was a definite upgrade. Onyeka was decent. Bassi was strong in defense. Most of Tunisia's attacks came down their left side. So the right side of Nigeria, right back Osei Samuel, he won some duels, lost some duels, and Ajayi was okay. But the right side was more vulnerable for Nigeria. As Mejri, he really ran the show, especially in the second half, and he was creating a lot of chances. Also, once the substitutes came on for each team, there was a major difference. Tunekti, the left winger from Celtic, he was getting down the wings a lot and creating havoc once he came on. But he came on in the 61st minute, was already 2-0, and Nigeria made it 3-0 in the 67th minute. After they won the ball back in midfield, Ndidi flicked it to Iwobi, who gave it to Osimhen, and Osimhen found Lookman in the box. Osimhen was open for what would have been a tap-in, but Lookman went 1-on-1 with the defender, beat him, and got the shot in for 3-0. Nigeria were flying at this point. But 7 minutes later, Hannibal Mejri, he crossed it in to Talbi, who made it 3-1. And then Achuri came off for Tunisia, and Nigeria made interesting substitutions where Onyeka came off and Core Adams came off, and Moses Simon and Juke came on and as wingers. They switched the formation to a 4-5-1, but it didn't really work out because the last 10 minutes of the game was all Tunisia. Ali Abdi scored a penalty kick after Bright Samuel was called for a handball. I'm not sure if it was a handball because there wasn't much distance between him and the attacker for him to move his arm out the way, but it is what it is. I made it 3-2. I did want to mention on the first goal, Stanley Nwabali ended up tripping after the header, which was a soft header, but it wasn't the corner, but it was a very savable header. So I do think Nwabali has some shaky moments. He got a yellow card in the end for time wasting. And I've always thought that Okoye was the number one for Nigeria, but he lost his spot after his mistake for Tunisia years ago. But our other keepers have made countless mistakes, including Azoho and Wabali. But Okoye is not here because he didn't want to fight for his place. He wasn't guaranteed starter in Shell's eyes, so he's still back in Italy for Udinese. Nigeria won this match 3-2. Osimhen with 1 goal and 1 assist. Lookman with 2 goals. With 1 goal and 2 assists, and Ndidi with 1 goal. So Nigeria qualified for the round of 16. They'll be playing their match in the third match in the same stadium here in Fez, Morocco. And if Nigeria top the group, they'll play their round of 16 matchup here in Morocco again, in Fez, Morocco, same stadium, the Complexe Sportif de Fez. So Nigeria have shaky moments. They have some holes in this squad, in the team. They don't have depth in a lot in the defensive areas, but Nigeria have a very strong attack. And if they play to their strengths and can continue to score a lot of goals, they'll give themselves a puncher's chance. So I don't have them as a main contender, but I have them as an outsider who can surprise the other teams and can make a run because Nigeria do tend to go far at AFCONs. They've been to 20 AFCONs. This is their 21st AFCON, and they've been to 16 semifinals. So they medaled 16 times, as I mentioned before, even though they've only won 3 AFCONs. So we'll see what goes on from here. Nigeria's next match will be against Uganda on Tuesday, December 30th. And then we'll see who they face in the round of 16 after that. Tunisia's last match will be against Tanzania. We'll see how many changes Nigeria makes. Because even though they're guaranteed a spot in the round of 16, they're not necessarily guaranteed to finish in first, depending on what happens in the last matches in Group C. But subscribe to the channel, like the video, please share. How to make more videos throughout AFCON after every Super Eagles match. And we'll see about highlights of the tournament after the tournament's over. All right, y'all. Peace.